They're trying to look for a sponsor, a negotiation so that people or a certain person connected specifically to the house. It could be someone they communicated with online at a distance, someone they agree with. They want the person to believe them and support them financially. They're trying to start a new beginning. They don't fully share their plans. They're being cunning and they know things are starting to get tough. They could get caught red-handed and they need to come to an agreement. They said that they don't need much and focusing on spiritual values. No one understands that in principle they have completely harmless approach to everything, that you can count on them. They're trying to convince, and many people don't understand them. They use all their charm and charisma. They are in a cult with friends, a work team, but they are in hesitation of them. They're already happy because they managed to achieve some results. They avoid talking about the past, about family and home. They don't talk about where they are and where the money comes from. They hide a lot. They show off some achievements, brings up facts, maybe shows photos, asks someone to confirm. But they are already happy with some success. Since childhood, this person in you has learned to lie beautifully, to present some facts and persuade. This is important for their status. They have a very materialistic perception of the world. They have many of their own complexes, even since childhood. They were unloved as a child, but now they're making up for it in this way. There's a lot of deception and fraud. They have a desire to create because they're tired of loneliness. They're tired of uncertainty. They feel closed off, withdrawn, and yet they lack people with views and point of view. They lack warmth and sincerity. Their world is permeated with hypocrisy, manipulation, and they long for kindness. They thought they could realize their dream in no time. They dreamed of something so warm and cozy that they could achieve great things, that it could be a house, real estate. They were looking for popularity and thought they would bring them joy. They spent a long time making plans, weighing the pros and cons. This could be a meeting with friends or relatives. They could meet someone from their past memories, but it could also be a real encounter with people connected to the past. They knew each other a long time, maybe from school. They learned valuable information and saw some easy path with some working scheme to implement this project. They can realize a long-held dream that they can make into reality. Their loved ones are still pinning their hopes on them, but only they can make this happen. There's an urgent need for finances and there's nostalgia. They realize they made a mistake and can't cope alone, so they have to negotiate, but they're cunning. Everything is a risk and they're depressed. Their family and friends may miss them because they're busy, but they pay very little attention. Rarely guests take on interest in them. They're immersed in their own life. Many people need them. They have promised many and they're fixated on themselves. They've put on a mask of a very successful, fortunate person. They see everything is falling apart for them, and they have a lot of financial problems. They have complicated many relationships with many people, colleagues, loved ones, etc. Everything is on the brink with those people and their personal life. They are experiencing a lot of confusion and chaos in their affairs. They have a lot of negative emotions, anger, rage, irritation, dissatisfaction, and despondency, all because they made a serious mistake, was overconfident. In their isolation and loneliness, this person in you has become wiser, more mature, and they've already they're already weighing things up and realizing they have lost a lot. They've been procrastinating in some areas, showing off in others, and not paying enough attention. They've wasted a lot of time, chances, and opportunities that would have been easily realized before they have been lost. Now everything is more complicated. They're scared by the fact that no one needs them, even though they smile and communicate and act as if everything is okay. They felt lonely their whole life, and they're closing themselves off. They don't let anyone into their space and they defend their own goals. There's a lot of childhood traumas they have carried with them throughout all these years. They believe that if plan works out, this job or project, it's a path to purification. They'll be able to shed the burdens and weight they've carried for so long. They're now a loner. It doesn't matter to them how much flirtations and people they've been with. They cling to relationships from their past. They're considering embracing certain traditions, and they remember their childhood dreams. They understand that they need to help their loved ones. They're having financial problems. They're not a philanthropist. They recall their mistakes from the past. They were vulnerable to gullibility and took advantage of it too.